Hey guys, Joe Smith here. Just a quick little follow-up, show you how the project ended up here, what Joe Smith did. Yeah, look like a mess probably. But here's what we did. We got, and then plus we still got the original one up there. But this one down here, and those two lines, the one goes up to the hose reel there, and then the other goes to the hose reel by the big hanger doors, sliding hanger doors, for running air hose out front to truck or trailer or mowers or whatever out front. Yeah, okay, you got that like rapid air system and installed in here. Could have done iron pipe like Joe Smith did at his home shop, but since we just had to go like 25 feet to the door, just use a 25-foot air hose to the door and like a 15-foot one up to the hose reel there, and it's cheap, it's fast, it's easy. Just ran them through eye bolts that we had laying around. Already had extra air hoses, so didn't spend a dime, and everything we already had, so didn't spend no additional money running the two air lines to the two hose reels in here with the extra air hoses. So, but got more CFM air volume coming out now, going to them a little bit more. And then here we got type G fitting. These are type M's. This is type G. This is for a 1/2-inch airline, which is bigger diameter than this. You run like a 3/4, 1-inch impact or great big stuff with like real high air volume. So went and put one of those in, just in case need it. And then up here we got we got two type M's and then type V here. Type V is like a type M, but a little bit more airflow through the couplers. Joe Smith's going to do a video about the different air coupler types here, but Joe Smith just converted all the air hoses and tools and stuff at his home garage to the type V to have a little bit more excuse, have a little bit more airflow, SCFM going through the airlines, give the tools a little bit more power, especially like the air sanders and impact. I went ahead and did type V setting here, so that way Joe Smith brings home tools to the shop here to work on something here that needs to. Then already got a whole setup here in the shop to use for them, and don't have to worry about adapters, although Joe Smith did make a few different adapters. And he'll talk about it in the air fitting video. And got another extra port here. And all these are unregulated, but the max this compressor puts out is 125 psi. This one up here though is on a regulator, so we're using a paint sprayer or something where we need lower air pressure, then we'll just plug it in, plug the air hose in up there and use that, like switch this orange one to up there and then regulate down. Although you can put a regulator on the other end of the hose. Our paint sprayers all have regulators on them too, that we can regulate the airflow at the paint gun itself. So we can still use these other airlines and our paint guns with regulators on them or we can use that. Just set up for different options here, basically. And of course, this is just quick connection right there that can undo if needed. Bracket said in the last video that one downside to this and other compressors, other brand compressors may be different, but yeah, how Joe Smith done this here is right where the hot air comes from the compressor into the tank. Your compressor might be, or your tank might be set up differently. Had a couple bigger fittings like that one down there and one that size on the other side, but Joe Smith tried breaking one on the other side loose and it wouldn't budge, and Joe Smith didn't feel like breaking out the big wrench and just figured that, well, that's already half-inch threads coming out there, so just splice it in between your intake and tank there, and that'd be the quickest, simplest, easy way of doing it. But normally the best way to do it, now this compressor isn't being run like every day, or all day every day, so it's not that big of an issue. Don't really have to worry about that much hot air and that. But best way of doing it, if you want to set up airline piping system in your home garage or shop to run like a flexible lead-in hose, or if your compressor is stationary, this one's on wheels to move around, but if you have a bigger stationary compressor like Joe Smith has at his home shop, then you can just hard pipe everything. Otherwise, run a flexible lead-in line to the hard piping on the mounted to the wall, and do 10 to 20 feet between the compressor and your air filter and air dryer. That way the air has time to cool and condensate before it gets to your dryer and filter and that. So that way you don't have to worry about them working so hard or having to change them out so often and that. Again, just trying to do some little entry-level introduction videos here, just let you know that it's not too hard to do this stuff, it's not too scary. Have different options. Like Joe Smith mentioned, got your black iron, you got galvanized, you got brass. You can use for all this stuff depending on what you want to spend, and if it's going to be indoor, if it's going to be outdoors. There's different size air hoses, there's different type fittings. Joe Smith's going to do a video about air fittings here next, the different types. Just remember, as you can see there, the fittings are not screwed all the way down. Don't screw them all the way down. They're not supposed to be screwed all the way down. They're tapered, so the further you screw them, the wider the threads get and the tighter it's going to get. And if you screw it all the way down, you're going to crack your fitting and waste your money. So just screw it till it starts getting tight, and then the Teflon tape, that's what that's for. There's like Joe Smith's dad always used to call it pipe dope. It's like a paste or something that you put on. And Joe Smith's dad always talked bad about it and say use a Teflon tape instead. So Joe Smith's never used the pipe dope on just always use the Teflon tape. And like Joe Smith showed, it's not that hard. Just wrap around 2, maybe 3 times. That's all you need. And do it in the right direction so that way it kind of holds itself tight as you're screwing the fins together instead of unwinding while you're screwing the fins together. And on one other note, Joe Smith apologizes. He had his brain had a brain fart and misspoke on the other video. The 2 halves that screw together is called a union, not a universal. Joe Smith had a brain fart and was thinking of something else and thinking of a universal joint, but the fitting was called a union, not a universal. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, for pointing Joe Smith's brain fart and error out there so Joe Smith could correct that. But yeah, any of you guys that do any air piping on your own home garage or shop or compressor, please feel free to post a link in the comments below, and Joe Smith would love to check it out and see how your project turned out. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments below, and Joe Smith or Joe Smith's Heroes will be glad to help you out, give you some advice and tips and pointers, and get you going in the right direction. And Joe Smith will do some more videos about this stuff in the future. Just wanted to kind of give you some entry-level tips and that to get you started here. But thanks for watching. Joe Smith signing out.